Don't film this. Don't film this.
Why not?
I can't have this on record.
As I get further and further into this creative pursuit, more and more I find myself asking, hey Bill, what is art?
Art's whatever you want it to be.
I've never considered myself to be artistic. I can't draw worth a shit. I can't play music. I can't sing. I can't dance. And by every measure that grade school taught me, this is art, I failed miserably.
Everyone and anyone can be an artist. You don't have to be like Picasso or, a master painter to be an artist. If you like drawing stick figures, then you can be an artist.
I think art's a lot about intent though, right?
Yes.
Because you have to have something that you're trying to say or prove or do or enact or whatever. And maybe you don't, I don't know.
It is day 11 of the cut, down to 297, and today we are pulling. I really didn't want to try to make videos like this. I didn't even want to start in the first place. It was just sold to me that it would be good for my business. It would be good to give back. But what I never would have imagined is how good it's been for me. Because this has forced me to think about myself and training in a way that I never have before. And what's funny is I definitely don't feel as strong or poppy as last week, but I also don't feel like I'm at risk of actually dying of a back pump, so I guess I'm gonna take it. Four actually felt surprisingly okay there, so I figure 455 for works at 1, and if that goes well, we'll go up a little. And not only that, but the ability to direct effort into growth and improvement is addicting.
So that was one of the things that initially drew me into powerlifting, was that it was a very direct way of actualization, right? You have an input, which is the training and the eating, sleeping, whatever, and you have a direct result that is usually, at least for the first number of years, directly proportionate to the efforts you put in. And that was the first thing that drew me to powerlifting, was if I just work harder, push harder, eat harder, sleep harder, whatever, then I get better results. Prior to getting into powerlifting, I was trying to make it in bands and stuff like that. And that to me was very okay, I can put in as much work as I want, but if we don't get lucky and the right promoter doesn't see us, or we don't open for the right bands or whatever, make the right connections, then the efforts are kind of moot at some point. On some level, getting to where I am now, which hopefully is on the other side of a lot of injuries, I was responsible for and able to really put my own intent and intention into okay, I'm going to stick around until I'm better, because I can be better than I was before these injuries, and I know that, and I'm not going anywhere until I am.
Conventional is cheating. Like every time I press record, there's always this fear that it's not going to be good enough, it's not going to be good enough, it's not going to work, the ideas are stupid, and blah 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 blah. And I just have to like chug through that and finish the filming, finish the editing, and like when I click playback that first time and see that it did turn into something that I'm at least proud of, that rush is almost unbeatable. And it is moments like these where I really want to fire the guy writing my program. And with how disastrous 225 was last week, I figure let's take a smaller jump, run 90 kilos, see if it's at least workable. And that wasn't as shitty as it could have been, so we'll jam out with 100 kilo. Okay, that got pretty shitty, pretty quick. I say almost because the only feeling that I know that can beat this is walking up to a barbell that you're not sure if you've been lifting, but you put every ounce of yourself into it and you know that was all you had. Okay, current options for horizontal row. I could run this guy over here, which feels really sick, but the problem with that is I would have to carry plates over and therefore extend my back pump. Option number 2 is going to be running seated rows over there, and the pro of that is I wouldn't have to load plates on, but I'd probably be subjected to more back pump during the movement. And I think seated row is going to win out in that equation, so let's get after it. Creating videos is so different from lifting, but so much of why I love them both is the exact same.
It scratches the that itch that you have. Like it just like it feels good, and then it also at the same time feels really bad. Like I'll get really big ideas, like get really ambitious with it, and it's exciting at first. But I feel like every single time all of these ideas lead you to, I think they call it like the pit or the hole, where it's like everything sucks, nothing's going right, this is the worst idea ever, nothing's gonna work. And then eventually you get out of it and you make something and you're like, oh, this is actually really cool. But it's like never smooth and it never feels good, but it feels good at the end.
I think, like I said, the biggest thing that drew me to it was agency. Like it's a thing that, for the most part, I have control over in a very like substantial and real and like visceral way. It's like if I push harder, the bar moves faster. And even in the cases where you maybe can't, I think that just having the option to, or even the illusion of being able to have control, I don't think is a bad thing when it comes to some certain specific.
And I figure we'll finish with some benchy bench sit-ups. Again, abs are still feeling that tiny bit vulnerable in the bottom, so I'll just keep cranking up volume before we scale up loading. And what is nice about this, having the legs a little bit wider, is we can get a little bit more anterior adductor in along with the abs and hip flexors, which should hopefully support my sumo deadlift adventures. And I realized that maybe through powerlifting, that self-expression into a barbell, I've been creating something artistic all along.